Fence fam, what is going on? Welcome to Fence Guy Podcast. This is Craig, the host, and we are doing something that we've never done before. And like you guys know on here, I was kind of talked into it. I was called Dan Wheeler, the devil on my shoulder. So he talked me into doing this. We got a panel of experts that are coming in here, and we have Justin Nary. But we're gonna come in here and we're gonna get rolling with this thing. So so here we are.
Whoa.
Where'd Glasgow already leave?
Hey, Sleepy Joe.
He was like, oh, I'm done. So we already got comments in here. Tony Thornton's here saying this will be interesting. Yes, Tony, it will be interesting. So
he would have said this will be good if Nary wasn't on there, but then he's like, oh, okay, this will be interesting.
Which actually, it's Justin Nary's birthday today. Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Get the crowd's going crazy. They're here in the house.
Gosh, guys, stop it.
Did you buy a Chevy?
I did not.
So we'll go around a little bit here and kind of introduce everybody. Maybe Glasgow ran to the restroom real quick, I'm guessing, but
I'm here. You can't see me?
No, you look Amish right now. It's completely black.
Hold up. I wonder if my camera's shut off.
Which I do want to let the record show. We did have everybody send in pictures of themselves. Why was Glasgow's him on the toilet? I mean, seriously, it was a selfie of him on the toilet.
How could you tell?
I've been in my fair share of toilets, so
You can ask anybody around me. I don't take any pictures myself. So
yeah. Clint, you want to go ahead and start off and let everybody know who you are and what in the world you got yourself into?
Absolutely. My name's Clint Ines. I own Log Cabin Fence and second generation fencer. So I grew up around log cabin fence as my parents were building it. Worked there with my parents for 17, 18 years. And then I bought my parents out 2.5 years ago. They retired and I took over.
Hold on, we're getting feedback from somebody.
There we go.
It's Joseph.
Oh, it was Joseph. So Dan, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, Dan Wheeler, River City Fence, 41.5 years. I used to build fence every day, man. That's what I do. There's nothing special here. So I think everyone knows what I do. I do a lot of resi, industrial, and commercial. We got industrial and commercial crews running daily along with resi. So those are the two sides of the world that I see. Just nothing on the ag side.
Well, let's
Thank
also
the
make
Lord.
sure.
Well, you want to
sure-
talk about this? We can talk about today, Craig, and Nary's trying to figure out a wood gate, but that's besides the point.
Well, let's also give Dan a shout out too. It's not his birthday, but he did just celebrate 5 years, 700 episodes, getting that in on his podcast. So congrats to Dan over here. So putting in that work.
My crowd sound was so much smaller than Nary's.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
You heard that once or twice, haven't you, Nary?
I have.
That's what you told her, huh?
Yep.
Glasgow, did you get your audio fixed? Oh,
You got some massive feedback.
you know what? You might have to go out and come back in. There we go.
Sounds so much better when he mutes.
Now we'll go to Nary by default. So Nary, you want to tell everybody who you are?
I'm the Black Sheep, Justin Nary, Taylor Fencing out of Lamoni, Iowa, the greatest state. Ag fencer. We do a little bit of residential, a lot of DOT. I don't know if that would classify as commercial, but we're a little bit of everything. I taught Dan everything he knows on the ag side. So, yeah, Been in the fence business for, I don't know, going on 12 years, I think. Started out as an employee and ended up buying the guy out and building it to what it is now, I guess. So, or declining down to, I don't know, one of the two.
You know what's not good there? Which, real quick, Glasgow, you should be getting a text message from Jessica. She's going to get you figured out on your audio and stuff and get you taken care of. Nary, I probably wouldn't.
You might got to mute him, Greg.
Yeah. There we go.
Just
Jessica, if you can leave that muted until we get that figured out. Nary, you probably don't want to say that you taught Wheeler everything he knows about ag when Wheeler just said, I don't do ag.
because I taught him everything and he knows not to do it.
That's about right. That's about right.
So obviously everyone's here. Aaron Preston's in the house saying full house tonight. This is awesome. It is going to be awesome. So let's get right into it. Those of you that are watching, feel free to drop any questions that you guys may have during this whole thing, and I'll try to get it on here too. Aaron says, we love the Michelob. John Classic in the house said, man, look at this lineup. Nothing but scholars and gentlemen.
This is just proving there's not very many smart people in the fence industry.
I like, you know what the pictures you did, Craig, like the AI stuff. I like how Clint's the only decently dressed one.
I know. He was like, well, it's because all of your guys' headshots, Clint was the only one prepared when he went to his headshot and wore something nice. You guys gave me like,
dude, that's a free one from like an event that Jorian took. You know what I'm
hey, mine's from Jordan too.
Dylan King says, you guys rating the Lightning driver. We are. We're getting ready to go through that. So let's go ahead and go through it first. And let's say, oh, there you go. Glasgow. Sounds like you're.
I can hear you now.
I can.
All right. There we go.
So much better.
All right. Tell everybody who you are real quick.
Sure. My name's Joe Glasgow. Go by Joe, short for Joseph. I started with a fence company here probably 8-9 years ago. Worked with them, a couple of months, and I kind of hit the ball running on my own shortly after. Actually went straight to subcontracting, and we were bouncing probably 3, 4, 5 states there for a while, and here most recently we're taking everything on our own now and kind of growing a lot these last couple of years. Yard guard fencing, couldn't see, so repping that today.
Awesome.
But
awesome. Well, we appreciate you jumping on here along with all of you other guys as well. So let's get right into it. So first question is, let's go with Wheeler first. Okay. Let's get his timer up here. Wheeler, what is the hardest pounding pounder?
Well, I live in the resi commercial industrial world, and so I would say anything hydraulic for sure. I don't think that's even a close second. So there's really no debate on that. It just depends on how or what type of hydraulic driver you're using, but that's the hardest hitting one.
There's not a certain one that you like?
We use the Rhinos. I think that's. I'm sure. I think was it Skydrill? I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think there's 2 camps in the hydraulic world: Rhino, Ski. It's Rhino's actually local to me, so it's not far from me. So that's our go-to when it goes for if we want hardest hitting commercial industrial. That's what we go to. That's probably overkill for most residential settings. So some may say that, some may not. Depends on your ground. Depends on what you're pounding too. So
okay, let's go ahead and restart this up, and then Clint, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so I didn't say whenever I did my introduction, but I live more in that ag world. So most of the time we are driving wood post. And we actually manufacture a post driver we have since 2002 called the Log Cabin Pro Driver. So obviously I have to throw my hat in the ring for that one. That's what our crews are using day in, day out. And we have a number of those units around the country that other crews are using. So it is also essentially a hydraulic driver, but it is lifting up a steel I-beam and slamming that down on the top of a wood post up to 9 inches in diameter and forcing it into the ground just like you hammer a nail into wood. So obviously that is hitting very hard in order for that to do it. So that is our hardest hitting option. Those units also have built-in augers. So if you are in some rocky or drought-like conditions, you can do a pilot hole and then drive the post in.
Okay. All right, let's go. Joe.
Yeah, so I'd have to say the hardest hitting pounder would probably be, I don't know if it's going to be fence related, but you have diesel pounders out there driving bridge piers and beams. I mean, 60 foot deep. So those have got to be by and large the hardest hitting pounders in the industrial world, I would think. For the fence industry, I would think, again, hydraulic. I'm going to have to agree with that. Now, we have only rented as needed hydraulic units with my company. We don't do a ton of commercial. We don't stay in that world a whole lot. So we do a ton of residential. So yeah, that's got to be, I think, the diesel world.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And you guys don't have to use up the full time. It's just to make sure that Wheeler doesn't talk too much. So
That's fair.
So I should be talking about Nary.
Nary, you're up.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say somewhere between the Montana, the breaker style drivers, like the Montana 1500, or you get into the Evos that have a 300 kg drop weight that's dropping 660 pounds from 10 foot up. I think those would be as far as the fence world goes, the hardest hitters.
Okay. You didn't like that, Dan? Did you have a rebuttal to that?
No, I'm just,
I was about to start 30-second, give you a rebuttal.
I could rebuttal it. Hey, let's get this party started here,
All
Craig.
right, get it started.
Okay, so what did you
Wrong.
use for what?
Wrong.
Jessica, bleep him out. What did you use today then, Nary, on your wood fence backyard job?
We used the Patriot and we used a US Hammer electric.
Ooh, electric.
Yeah.
Did you like it, the electric?
Yes and no. It has its place. And screw the timer. There's no perfect driver out there, so it's just a matter of what tool do you need to bring to the job. I mean, in all fairness, I use Clint's driver 90% of the time. Is it the perfect driver? No. But is it work good for what we do? Absolutely. But am I going to bring it into a backyard? No. So we have, I think I've counted, we have 8 drivers on my lot right now. And that's one because one is none. So you need backups. My job trailer's got a ready driver. It's got the Patriot. It's got the US Hammer, and they all have their place. That Patriot hits too hard for a lot of 20 weight or 065. So we have to use the battery powered or the ready. So it's just what job or what driver is going to fit the job best. That's how we go about things.
Can I say one more thing, Craig? Craig, I want to say one thing here.
Starter's time.
Here's the bit. No, keep that time. Here's the big thing. See, here's where this conversation started, Craig, 5-6 years ago, when the ag guys were like, "You could be pounding post, blah 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 blah." We get that. Us resi guys, I think Joe can agree with me. We get pounding post. I've had a Rhino gas driver since 2014. I remember getting it. As I got a brand new Ford truck, the only Ford I ever got. I had the Rhino in the back seat. It fell and broke the door panel the first day I got it. That's how I know exactly what day I got it. But it broke. It was maintenance heavy. Didn't know what we were doing. Yada yada yada. We knew driving post was a thing, but it wasn't a thing yet for residential world. You following me? So when guys like down here, Nary is like, we used to be pounding. Well, we can't bring a skid loader in a backyard. You know what I'm saying?
Wrong.
Now you got like a billet. I have a billet from Clint, backyard machine, commercial or industrial machine. Now things are evolving, and I think Joe said it on that one thing. Again, he was kind of rebuttaling on Facebook against Nary. Us Resi guys knew about this, and we knew it was a thing, but it just wasn't easily done at that time. Now it is. Now, and everyone's like, oh, we've been doing this for 55 years. Nary hasn't been born for 55 years. So how has he been doing it for 55 years?
So kind of that was going to lead me into my next question was, what driver is going to be the easiest to get in and out of yards without, dealing with all the other stuff? Because I've been on job sites with the Patriot and stuff, and people bringing it out on a skid steer and having it on a pallet and everything. And it was just a lot going on. And it's like, why are we doing all this? So let's go through everyone and
Can you define easy?
In and out. Let's go.
I would say setup is one thing.
Yeah.
You got to are you taking a half-ton truck, or you got to get up to a 250, 350, 450, 550, all big trailer, size of trailer is a 7K trailer, 14K trailer, or do you put it in your back seat? That's what I would consider easy.
With the seatbelt on.
Hey.
So what do you think, Nary? We're going to go with this timer. What do you think?
As far as easy, I mean, in the residential world, you've got your gas drivers and your electric drivers and stuff. That's easy. But it's just as easy to drive a 250 with an equipment trailer as it is a 250 with a trailer for material. So, I don't know. Luke's, the ProTech, they came out with the 360, 7 years ago, which was made for backyards. It fit through a 4-foot gate, had a drop weight hammer. The problem is price. I mean, a lot of the residential guys don't want to invest that much money in a driver. Is it wise to spend $80,000 on a driver for backyard fence? Probably not, but efficiency wise, maybe it is. I don't know what's easy.
Yeah.
I've got a 40-foot trailer on my truck every day, so I mean, it's all relative to what you're doing. But Dan can't get a 40-foot trailer into 60% of his jobs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you gonna pull in a cul-de-sac with that bad boy?
No,
I can do it.
The thing I would argue too is it's not just the easy setup, but you also have to look at how efficient you are operating. If it's 1 or 2 posts, those gas ones, those battery ones are perfect. But if you're doing a number of posts, and we all know the hardest thing we all face is labor. How many guys want to take and lift that thing up and drive it in and lift it off of each one? You're going to break your guys. So if you can make it more efficient, that you can drive those posts more quickly, it's worthy of a $20 or $25 or $30,000 investment, because you're going to see that payday 6 months or 12 months.
That I made that exact note, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Is what Clint just said, is if you're going to start here and end way down there, and you can run and gun, set up, get ready to go, and just start going, that's when those bigger drivers are handy. But yes, in backyards, a gas pounder is our go-to. It's a no-brainer. But we'll bring out the bowl today. We brought out the bowl because gas drivers are down, and it's too slopey and really wet to bring a machine in there for like the billet. So that's why we it's job. It's case by case basis. The material, just like what Nary was saying, some hit too freaking hard. We ran in that problem too. So it's, I don't know. And then the other thing is, I only do 3 types of fencing. So that really narrows down what we're putting in the ground, which helps with narrowing down what we need for drivers. Yeah.
Which Nathan Downs is here. Says, sorry guys, I'm late getting here. I was digging holes in the heat.
Nary can't do that. Put up your hands like this, Nary. I want to see your hands. See how soft they've gotten. I know that your trigger finger from pulling that lever gets a workout, but
things on steroids.
Holy
moly!
I'd like to throw in my 2 cents on kind of what works best for us. So I'm in the Midwest. We're here in Iowa. And what we're noticing is a lot of these homes, I mean, they're packed super close together. I mean, you got the problem with us is we sometimes we have to drop the trailer, pull the truck ahead, or we're blocking one or two driveways. That's a no-go in our company. We just don't block driveways, whether it be our client, a neighbor, person across the street. We block no driveways because that's the quickest way to get bad reviews and just a bad rep. So, I mean, as far as ease, I mean, we're not bringing anything in on a trailer that needs to be pulled off a trailer if we can avoid it. And I've noticed, I mean, and this is the way we're going to try going here in the future is, you know, how do we get rid of the trailer altogether? How do we go with just a one truck setup that fits between, you know, these houses that are just packed in super close together? So for us, that's where a lot of our decision making comes on material handling and what we need to do with what we're bringing in. I mean, these smaller gas pounders, I mean, our company, me specifically, and I got one other guy, it's 30 seconds a post. So, I mean, we can't beat going in 30 minutes. You got 300 foot of fence pounded and it's ready to be built right then, you know.
We do have a pretty good comment here. And I seen a Facebook post about this fella earlier this week. So he is here.
Sloop in the house.
Sloop is in the house saying, guys balk at spending money on tools, but keep paying people that are drunks and unreliable. He's taking shots right now.
Okay, let me rebuttal this. Let me rebuttal it now.
All right.
Okay, even if I'm the wealthiest residential guy and I'm building fence where Joe is, because I remember these subdivision lots are typically quarter-acre lots. A quarter-acre, that's small. And they're typically pretty nice grass, yada, yada, yada. So tell me where I can spend $100,000 on a machine that's not going to damage anything, that's easy, versatile sloop, that checks all my boxes. I'll spend the $100,000. You tell me right now what it is. I'll wait. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the sloop is the number one hater on the resi guys using the gas pounders and stuff. He's the number one hater on it. But
without pulling in a pallet of plywood.
Yeah, without pulling ply. This goes back to just like what Joe said. I was at fence games at South Bend, CMM, Sean held the fence games. Every single line that had their post in first ran gas drivers, period.
True.
Not one competition didn't not have it. Now, was it tight? Now, like what Clint said, we're not building 100 foot of 6 foot plus one. Dude, we're building 3,000 foot, and you're going to set up one or two guys and say, start here and there. I'll see you tomorrow. That's when those come in handy. Like what Sloop is talking about. But tell me in the residential world where I can spend $100K that checks every single box, and then I'll do it. I'll use Nary's money, his credit.
My thought with just blowing money like that, though, is you got 50 other companies down the road willing to beat your price, same quality fence. If you got 3 times the overhead as them, you're not touching their price. And right now, I mean, we keep our overhead super low, and I cannot complain with how we're operating. So
I agree with the grass pounders. We just have a bunch of them, and we rotate them through. It is what it is. And then until we have to step up to another one. I can completely agree, Joe.
The rebuttal, though, on the gas units is that works if you're in northern Indiana where you have 6 feet of topsoil. It doesn't work if you're in southwestern PA where there's limestone and there's sandstone and there's shell rock that you have to get through. I did a demo with the billet when we first came out, and they had gas units on site, they had pneumatic units on site, and there was a whole line of posts that neither of those units got through, but that hydraulic got it through.
Yep.
And so, it works in certain parts of our country, but it's not going to work everywhere.
That's the other thing is ground condition, stuff like that. And then the other thing, Clint, like you could probably speak to this, like sometimes you have to get creative getting a post, and you might have to hit it with the jackhammer or rock drill, pierce the rock or whatever it may be. Actually, when we were at the East Coast Fence Rivalry, Nary, remember that fence quip, the fence quip, drilled that hole.
That was a word rock drill, but yes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyways,
but we've got to take this whole conversation about there's always a cheaper guy that can do it cheaper. You can't have high overhead. We've got to get that out of the conversation, because no matter what, I mean, there's guys that are building. Us ag guys have the biggest competition, and I will die on a horse on that. I've got guys that are building fence for 65 cents a foot. So piss on you guys because we will beat you guys all the time. But to have that mindset, there's always going to be someone that's going to do it cheaper, and you've got to sell yourself. It's a unique selling proposition, USP. You've got to sell yourself on building a premium product. If they don't want to pay that price, they're not your customer in the first place. So we've got to take that conversation out. I have the highest overhead out of all the ag fencers within a 30-mile radius of me, and I can compete with them. Not all the time, but I can compete with them. And it's about production, efficiency, and having the right tools to do the job correct quickly.
The other thing is it goes right back to the a whole nother story, podcast, whatever, is you have to have the right team, SEO, social media, all that stuff. It all is one giant bubble or whatever you want to, I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. There's more pieces to this
I know
puzzle.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Wait, do you really have people in your area that are doing 65 cents a foot for?
Yes.
Wow.
Should be making a killing replacing their fences.
China.
Yeah.
Does their name start with Jebediah?
You can go on Facebook all the time. Someone's looking for a quarter mile of 5-strand barbed wire fence, and someone says $2 a foot. Well, I'm sorry, when you have $1.15, $1.20 per foot in material, what does that leave?
Here's a comment. If you see Todd Skolsky's comment, or not comment, but he chimed in. That's a dude that's more expensive by a landslide than anyone around him, but he still gets it done, and he's still right. So there's different ways to approach that. So, but that's a whole nother podcast, whole nother day. Sorry.
Oh, we got the time today. And apparently the viewers too. We got quite a few people in here watching right now. So everybody wants to know what's the best pounder. And I feel like right now it's leaning a lot towards of just depends on your situation and where you're at. So now Sloop kind of hinted at it a little bit. What pounders are we are sitting in the garage the most? And the crowd is silent.
For
This
me,
is normally where you tell who's going first.
yeah.
Oh no! You guys,
Are we
you guys
screwing
were
the
just rolling.
Well, all right.
For me, it's the specialty pounders sit in the garage most, obviously. But again, it goes back to every job has its own one. The billet will be out next week on every job has its own, but the billet will be out on one that we're going through asphalt next week. We got a Rhino PD 55 out last week and this week doing crazy tall posts, you know, like because it has to have a scissor lift to get a guy up there. It's just everything has its own place, and we use the bull today and we'll use a gas driver tomorrow. Everything has its place. But if you're doing strictly, now I would use my billet all the time if all I did was 6 foot plus one and 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 feet every day, then that would be out every single day. We're lucky. I don't got the money Nary has with 15 pounders, but I have a lot of pounders sitting in the shop, you know.
Nary, what you got?
I'd say all my drivers sit equally except for the log cabin. And that's mainly because we do DOT fence. And the log cabin is a production unit that we have grown to love. And I'm not trying to
Dude, he's trying to
get I'm not trying to get a sponsorship from Log Cabin, but
dude, she's trying to get a half off. Be like, hey, Nary, thanks for the shout out. I got that skid loader mount one.
I've got a bunch of specialty units. You know, I've got the Evo that sits, but when I need it, it works wonders. I've got the Montana on my mini excavator. It sits quite a bit, but when I need it for whether we're doing, you know, water gaps or whatever it is, it comes in handy. My Danuser T3 has sit probably the most out of every driver I've got, but when we had to drive a bunch of T-posts for safety fence for the music festival, it came in handy.
Here's a question for you, Nary. Could you get what driver could do a majority of your work, even if it wasn't ideal? If you had to sell them all and only keep one, what's the one you're keeping that will do a majority of your work?
I don't think I have that driver.
Okay. See how these ad guys are. But just for instance, let's do like a make believe. Like, what one is going to come in? What one are you going to hang on? Because this will do.
I'll
at
probably
least
keep
70.
the Evo. Well, I don't know.
Is that the Evo you rolled in front of my dad in Clinton, Iowa?
100%. Probably that, and for the main reason of I can drive anything from 14 to subsurface, and so when we do a bunch of deer fence or we're doing breast blocks or whatever it is, I can do it all with that machine. Weld. It's kind of an all around unit. So probably that one, but I wouldn't have made the money I've made the last 6 or so years without the log cabin, because it's just a production. I can put more post on DOT fence with that than any other unit. I would also put the Montana Mountain Goat on the list too of quality units that can do a lot. It's.
Can I ask one more question, Craig?
Sure.
So you guys, this is what I don't quite wrap my head around in the ag world, because am I wrong when you say like the Montana head can be on different machines or whatever, or different heads and be called a different pounder? You know what I'm saying?
So the Montana Mountain Goat is a Montana 1000 on a side shift unit.
But does Montana make the unit, not just the driving head?
Yes, Montana makes the unit.
Okay. Now, is there other companies that have units but uses Montana heads?
Yes.
See, that's where I get all.
I think Iron Force uses a Montana 1000 rebranded.
Yep. It's a 1000 or a 750, but that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So Montana makes a good unit, and they've been around for a long time. I'm not a breaker style guy. I don't like the noise. But the Mountain Goat is, from what I've been around, Dakota Wilson's got one. He brought it out to our donation fence a year ago, and he walks circles around everybody. That thing's just a freaking go-getter. And so
Dan, Tom,
but a negative on that thing, though, is that thing weighs 10,000 pounds, 11,000 pounds. That's a heavy piece of machinery. You're not putting that in the backyard.
No. Oh, no.
Even that's the other thing is, even on a 14K trailer, but even on a 14K trailer, now you're putting no material on that trailer. You're maxed out. Or another attach, anything. Yeah, you're like, that's a dedicated truck and trailer, period.
Yeah.
But most ag guys run 350s, 1 tons with a 30, 35 foot trailer, tandem dual axles, running CDLs. Like, we're set up for that. I can get my skiddy, my log cabin, and a bunch of material on one trailer for ag. So it's just a different world. I mean, we're used to it. I run on any given ag job. I'm running at least 2 trucks with 35 to 40 foot trailers fully loaded to the gills with, I've got $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 worth of stuff driving to a job site to go put in fence. So that's just our world. We live in that world.
But here's my question. You keep saying that we live in that world and we have that. What is the new ag guy buying? Because clearly he doesn't have the money to buy, all these big trucks and trailers and everything. What's he starting with?
I think most ag guys, and that's why there's such an influx. We've got 40 freaking ag fencers within a 30-mile radius of us. And it's because the getting into driving post with the Montana for $8,000 or $9,000, whatever it is. It's easy. You can go get a $20,000, $30,000 used skid loader, get an $8,000 driver, and you're into driving post. That's not for me. My top 3 things needed for driving post in the ag world is a self-propelled unit, whether it's a skid loader with a remote, or a Montana or ProTech, those styles. It's got to be self-propelled. It's got to have a side shift driver, and it's got to have tracks. Those are the 3 things. Without those, you're not getting the efficiency.
Did you guys see that? What it takes to be an ag fencer is a cowboy hat usually. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there.
I see it.
Can of Copenhagen and some Marlboros.
Yeah, that's all we need. Okay, so what's the most reliable driver that's out there? Let's go, Clint.
Again, I'm coming from the ag world. The post driver, we're on the middle of or starting an 8,000 foot woven wire job. We started it Monday, and I have 2 drivers at that job site. The one has been in the field for 15 years, and we haven't really touched it for 15 years. We've done oil changes on the machine, and that's about it. Today, it blew a hydraulic hose. So we also send our pro drivers out. We have an F350 with a pro driver mounted on the side of it. So when the rubber track Yanmar with the pro driver went down, they simply unhitched the truck from the trailer, drove the truck into the field, started driving post with it. I went and got a new hose, and that Yanmar was back up in about 2 hours. And literally, we haven't touched that thing in 15 years. So for us, that's our most reliable. It's one of our units.
I can vouch for that. Gosh dang it, Joseph. Yeah, we had a log cabin for 14 years, and I think we changed bushings on it and some hydraulic hoses and levers from when it got tipped over, and that's it. Those things are freaking workhorses.
Wheeler, what do you got?
Well, I just want to rebuttal that real quick because it goes back to how I'm going to keep picking on Sloop. And he's like, buy better, buy the best money can buy type thing. But there isn't. That's not an option. You know what I'm saying? I can't buy the steel on the drivers these guys are talking about is hardcore. You know what I'm saying? I just need something to carry in the backyard and throw some 1.5" posts in the ground for the little chihuahua I'm about to fence in. Not a, Clinton's done elephant fencing, for Christ's sakes. Like, we're in 2 different worlds. But I get what they're do and say, right? But it's just not, it doesn't translate to my world.
Not feasible.
Now, I dabble in their world, but for big drivers, for commercial industrial, yes, all day long. So we cross paths there a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
Showing up to a job site with 1 driver is asinine.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep the night before if I had 1 driver going to a job. So
Why is that? You think they just all break down?
yes,
1 is done.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the gas world, yeah. So that's, and they all, I have a bull. I fought that flipping bull for the first year we had it. Like, it was down all the time because it was a compressor thing, and that's a whole nother. That's not the pounder. That's the thing, is it wasn't the pounder, it wasn't the hose, nothing. It was the actual compressor, which is Puma from another company.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole nother thing, that a whole nother puzzle to the piece that that you have to factor in. Like, who around you guys can get parts for like an industrial grade compressor like that? That's on hand. You aren't going to find it. I had to get mine from like Kansas City. So it's like, and we had it on a job with a ton of posts that it wasn't made for the gas driver. So we upgraded the driver, and then that happened. Now I'm back down again. So anyways, that's all I got on that.
Clint, what do you think?
As far as what's most reliable?
Yeah.
I think we already went over, like, we send that Yanmar rubber track post driver of ours with the pro driver on it all the time. There's a lot of jobs. That's my only driver I'm sending out because it's the only one that's going to fit in the back, like not necessarily backyard. We do a lot of ag fence, but we're doing a lot of large suburbia backyard fence. We're starting to do a lot of dog fence. So we're not necessarily right in city proper, larger backyards, and that lightweight, weighs 7,000 pounds with the driver. We're getting in there, putting our wood post in. We're stretching black woven wire, black backyard woven wire, or we're putting board fence up or something like that, privacy fence, anything like that. And there's a lot of times where that unit's what we're sending out there. The truck mounted unit is there because it hauled it to the job site, but I'm never getting that F350 in the backyard. So I'm sending one out, and today is the first day in 5 years that we had a hydraulic hose break on it. So that's our go-to.
Which Owen King says, think about it this way. If I have a jet ski and ride the crap out of it, it's going to break. And if I have a tugboat, I can tug my little heart out. Pretty simple argument. Still waiting for 2 99-cent parts for US Hammer.
I think that's another argument right there is ease of replacement parts.
Yeah.
I think that's the downside. We've got a lot of, in the ag world, we've got a lot of drivers that are getting imported in. Fence Quip, Revolution, King Hitter, ProTech, all these drivers are getting imported in. And I don't know if you guys have been trying to import material or anything lately, but it's hard to get parts from New Zealand, England, all these other countries. So that brings validity to these US made machines where you can get parts overnight and repair them if you need to. So I think just like you buy skid loaders where you can get reliable service quick and easy, you have to kind of think of it like that for drivers too. You got to have something that you can get parts for.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next one. What's one of the cheapest drivers that somebody can get?
The cheapest driver I know is that Titan Pound, the battery powered driver. I think it's what, $1,200 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 12.
Yeah, I think there's like a low end though that you kind of shoot for. I just got ordered the new the Ready Mega driver, and I had my hands on that at Fence Games. That was hands down the fastest gas driver there. And
where'd you order it from? I need one.
Max Ridgeline or Central Fence Supply, the Fence Pros Choice for anyways. But here's the thing, Craig. Here's the thing. And I know we're on this right now, like cheapest, but I want to put two questions in your hat here. One of these, Clint told me a couple years ago, and it stuck with me. There's two things here. One, these standalone drivers that all they do is drive, like that's all they do. For one, and then two, who maintenances those? Because what Nary was just talking about, I don't know what these other things are. Because I'm not talking crap about the Fence Rexes or whatever the other ones out there. I just know we have a mounted unit on our Vermeer. My Vermeer gets serviced by the Vermeer people. They know the parts. They have the parts. It's quick, easy. They're not trying to find a part for blah blah Honda, Briggs and Stratton, whatever engine. They have it. You see what I'm saying? So that, I think, plays a huge part because I'm not a mechanic, clearly, if you listen to what I dropped the other day. So you see what I'm saying, though? Like, there's two ways here. One, this machine only pounds post. That's it. And this machine carries the post to the backyard, carries material to the backyard, pounds the post, loads your truck, loads your trailer, unloads, blah, blah, blah. That's like, yeah, they kind of do the same thing, but that's two different flipping worlds, dude. And on top of that, who's going to maintenance it?
Yeah. Well, Nary, who maintenance it?
We do our own maintenance.
You do your own? Do you go on YouTube to look it up, or do you already know?
I mean, at some point we probably did, but I mean, we've just always serviced our own stuff. And I think in our world, again, Tyler Akers said it kind of best. Like, if you are in the ag industry and you can't work on your own stuff, you're going to go down quick because we've got a lot of machines. And it's not to brag on how many trucks and equipment we have, but I've got 4 skid loaders, an Evo excavator, 4, 5, 6 trucks, trailers, brake lines break, tires blow.
Let me cut them off here quick. Now, are you going to go down quick because you're going to be down and you need to fix it on the side of the road because you're 2 states away or in the field, or you're going to go down quick because you can't afford the maintenance bills for a mechanic to do it? That's 2 different things there.
Kind of both. I think a mechanic bill, I mean, we've dropped our own engines in trucks. We've replaced our own transmissions. We can do it for quite a bit cheaper than what it would cost for me to take a truck to Joe mechanic shop and drop a transmission in. But in warranty, that's another argument for warranty too. A lot of these guys are buying used machines that have no warranty because it's affordable, but if you buy a $30,000 skid loader that's got 4,000 hours on it and it breaks down with no warranty, you're out. Where if you had a skid loader with warranty, you can take it in, get a rental unit, and you're back on the job site. You're down for a couple hours. So, I mean, that's a whole nother podcast, I think, talking about the benefits of having newer equipment with warranties.
So here's the other question, Nary. Are you dropping new engine and trannies in a vehicle in the winter or during the build season?
Depends when they go out, bud.
So, but this is the argument I'm going to give you here. If you can be out building, isn't that more profitable? Is building fence than swapping an engine in a truck?
Yes, but you can also swap engines in your truck between the times of 8 and 2 a.m. when you can't be building fence. So, I mean, it's not like a 4-week project. For you, it might be. But
Thanks.
I think we could do it in a transmission in probably 2 evenings. I'm not saying that's ideal. I mean,
No.
I took I think I had the dealership do my 450s transmission over the winter, and that's just because it was a 10-speed and I didn't want to mess with it. But we still take our skid load. I'm not saying we do all our maintenance. I still take my skid loaders for big stuff to Bobcat to have worked on. But the small stuff, the hydraulic oil and greasing and replacing tracks and stuff like that, those are rainy day projects. I mean, if your skid loader needs new tracks and you have 4 inches of rain that night, it's a good day to change your tracks. Service your gas drivers. Those things need oil changed and cleaned and serviced quite often. I think that's why there's a lot of breakdowns in the gas driver world, is because the maintenance isn't there, and there's got to be a maintenance regimen on all your units. I mean,
I think
every night,
Evan Gardner,
every day. What's that?
Evan Gardner might argue with that. He just had a comment that he hasn't maintained his gas driver other than an oil change in almost 1,000 posts.
That's the thing. The ones you don't touch will run forever, and then the ones you're actively trying to find a loose bolt, you'll never. I have U.S. hammers where it has like the blue and red Loctite stuff. Those bolts will work out the first time you use. Like my mechanic for those drivers are like, treat these machines a little better. And I have said this 100 times. We literally put them in our back seat of our vehicle in the trucks. They don't go in the bed of the trucks. And until he realized, like, do you understand? These just beat posts every single day in the ground. That's all they're doing. I know they're going to break down. That's why I have multiples of them. But we're just so quick with them. It's just like a quick turn and burn, turn and burn, turn and burn. Now I'm going to the megas, and I'm hoping that helps.
But they're not. I mean, they're not that expensive, and
No.
I don't know if. I mean, they're a throwaway item, and I hate to say that about a lot of these drivers, but they're a throwaway item.
Yes.
$3,000 is not a lot of money when you think about how quick your return of investment is on those drivers. I mean, in all reality, you can go do a couple jobs and the driver could be paid off in my eyes. So until you get into the 8, 10, 12,000 drivers, everything else is a throwaway item, I think.
That's the same opinion I have with your guys with the nail guns, and you guys have them rebuilt over the course of 50 years. Just freaking buy a new nail gun. Like, they're not 30 grand. Like, just have a new one in your truck, bro. Like, these guys have these nail guns, Craig. They look like they drug them to the repair guy of the back of the truck. I'm like, just buy a freaking new one, dude. Like,
I just had to buy another one today because we were just running short on framing nailers. So I drove 4 stores and found a boss stitch for $280 or whatever it was. And I mean, I hate looking for tools, so all our trucks have their own tools, and that's part of the game.
Nary, I wanted to ask you, are you guys, so should ag guys be pulling pulling a play out of the Matt Warner playbook and just buy their own mechanic shop so that way you guys can repair all this stuff? Or because I couldn't imagine trying to get employees or, you know, people wanting to stay on evenings to do a lot of this stuff. But
I do it a lot with, I've got friends. I mean, we
just come over and drink some beer.
Get away from the, I don't know if my wife's watching. She clowns that as guys' time, but we just come out here, drink some beer, and drop an engine. I mean, maybe that's redneck. I don't know. I know Sloop does it.
That's hillbilly.
That didn't help defend what you're saying.
That's hillbilly.
That's not the litmus test in this case here.
All right, what do we got next?
Hey, someone asked earlier, what is the Patriot 2 hit too hard for?
Oh yeah,
I think it was Preston. We had a bad batch of what I thought was Schedule 20, but it was not. Too strong for. That's 065 and scheduled. We get along pretty good with the 20 weight post on the Patriot, but it does mushroom quite a bit. So we always go to the ready or the battery powered when we get into lighter post.
Keller says the drive cap for the Rhino is annoying.
Yeah,
all drive caps are annoying.
Yeah, it's just that's why the gas drivers for us for chain link. Otherwise, mushrooming, I get a migraine thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what did we say? What is the most expensive driver? Throw some numbers out there.
ProTech P220, I think, would probably be the most expensive post driver I know of. And it's probably pushing 200, 180, 200.
Dang.
What do you use
My
that
Evo
for?
cost. Huh? Sloop's got
using
the
that
220. It's
Does
a
he? Well,
beast. Oh, yeah. It's a beast of a unit. But the name of the game is posting. You've got to get these posts in the ground. And when you're driving 7x10s, 8x10s in hard ground, you've got to have a unit that can get the post in the ground efficiently.
Here's my question, though. Spending that kind of money, are you going to make more money just buying a rental property or buying one of those?
I mean, a unit like that has to run day in, day out to pay for itself, unequivocally. That thing it's never sitting idle at a job site. For that thing to pay back, for you to get ROI, that thing is running 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Well, devil's advocate, Clint. I mean, for like the log cabin, which is, I don't know how much it is. I haven't bought one in so long because they're so reliable. But you have to have a skid loader. So on my log cabin setup, I've got a $90,000 skid loader, a $40,000 driver, $15,000 remote. You're already pushing $150,000, $160,000. And then you got to get the trailer and the truck to get it there. So
yeah, the difference though, just to rebuttal your rebuttal, is that log cabin's going to give you 15, 20 years of service. You'll go through skid steers before you wear out that post driver.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sloop said, I've made a living with a $200,000 driver, a lot easier than without. Runs a few days a week.
There you go.
But he is and he's doing what it's easy because it's a huge post driver, but it's not huge when you're in the middle of nowhere, in the hills of West Virginia, wherever he is, pounding posts. We're in backyards with quarter-acre sublots with chihuahuas running around. Like, if I could use that thing where I'm at, I would too. So, Sloop, you ain't winning this argument, bro. Come work
Sloop,
with me, Sloop.
Sloop, do you have any gas-powered ones? Does Sloop does he do any resi?
Oh,
he's done a couple.
Yes,
okay.
because he calls me.
But I think I think every time he's done resi, he's used a Montana T-Rex on his MT100.
You should go that route now. Ask those questions, Craig.
Well, I was I was
Like
just texting Jessica about maybe adding Sloop to this.
Yeah, he should get on.
He probably won't. He'll ghost us. He'll be like, "Sorry guys, got to run."
He's probably drink some cherry wine and some Earl. Get some Earl and
Cheer wine.
But about a standalone unit and an attachment unit, I think that is that. I don't know. I don't believe in the standalone units, but that's just me. If someone wants to argue it with me, they can. But in the residential world, I don't know if that's a thing, even commercial too. So,
That MT100 with whether it's the billet or like the ProTech FP 150, whatever it is. I mean, those things are solid units. I mean, the ProTech units. They are, and you can get it in the backyard. You've got to be careful. No, you can't do donuts and whatnot, but there's a way to get around it. Once you learn the unit itself, you can utilize it properly. But I think like the ProTech or the billet or any of the other attachments for an MT100 in the residential world where you can utilize it for more than just driving post is a good route to go, especially for someone getting into post driving. If they want to spend the money, they have a unit that they can load trailers, unload trailers, move material. If they want to blow snow in the winter or push snow, they can use it. There's so much more you can do with the attachment driver personally in the residential world than a standalone unit that just drives post, because you're still manhandling the material at that point.
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And I see Mitchell's comment down here. Still, you're bringing a truck and trailer for this unit that only puts posts in the ground. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. So I just don't see it. I think my third podcast ever was like how you have to have a stain-on machine, basically. That's just, you have to do that, especially in the residential world. We use them since I was a kid. But I just don't believe in these standalone units yet. Unless somebody can prove me wrong, why wouldn't you put a Montana head or a billet or whatever on the front of one of these and then use it for everything like Nary just said? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm waiting for the argument. I see people pounding them real quick. But what are you going to get done quicker? Maybe it's 20 minutes quicker in the backyard or 30.
It also depends if you're doing 100, 200 foot jobs or if you're doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 foot jobs.
But I get that. But now it's two different worlds. Now you're in commercial. That's different than a residential 3rd acre, even 1 acre. You know what I'm saying? You got to move material. You ain't driving in these backyards. I see those guys in Louisiana driving around their fence. We don't do that up here. That's not a thing. You have to have a machine to move material. And that pounder that only puts posts in the ground, that doesn't carry material, pickets or wire or whatever, after the posts are in the ground, it just sits idle.
I agree.
I don't know.
And the other thing that I think is a valid consideration, we're all business owners and we're all looking for ROI. We're looking for return on our investment. When we invest in this kind of equipment, when you have an implement that goes on to a mini skid steer, when that mini skid steer has 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 hours, whatever point you roll it out, it is still viable to somebody. But if it's a dedicated unit, who's it really viable to? An up-and-coming resi fencer, maybe, but your market to resell that used unit is infinitely smaller. So I think there's a massive argument to going with attachments on the mini skids you probably already have instead of doing dedicated.
To add to that, if you have an attachment and your unit breaks, you go get another rental unit or whatever, and you can continue driving. If you have a standalone unit and it breaks, you're shit out of luck at that point.
Yeah.
So
that's my exact point when I was saying about like the whole maintenance thing.
See, we thought we were going to argue this whole time, and we're on the same side. I got your back, Dan.
But I'm just saying, who's going to maintenance? Is that like I don't know. You guys are going to critique me here. I don't know. Is that a normal engine or normal parts at my local implement dealer that we take our machines? Are they going to have that? Are they going to know it? I'm assuming they were engine. But is it going to be readily available to get fixed quick, just like what Nary said? Because if it's down and that's my business, I'm probably in a world of hurt there.
If you can't put posts in the ground, you can't be a fencer. And that's just, you can't make money. You cannot build chain link fence without posts in the ground. And that's where one is none. You've got to have a backup. It might suck. The backup might suck. It might be a heavy driver that you got to lift up, but at least you can still get the post in the ground and continue doing what you're doing while your other unit is in maintenance.
Which, let me ask, we got quite a few people in here watching right now.
There's 3.
Oh no, there on mine it says there's 40.
Oh,
So, Joe, I wanted to
Nary
ask
just
you.
got nervous. Yeah.
Did you forget this? And you guys probably only see like whatever's in front of you. But, anyways, Joe, what do you got to say about some of this? Has any of this changed any of your opinion on some of these drivers?
Sure. First off, I want to say sorry for missing half the conversation. So, dedicated units, I don't think we could go with one. Not enough ROI. I mean, with what we can do with a small gas-powered pounder, we can go in and I could buy a new pounder every week if I really absolutely needed to. If for some reason we had such an unreliable unit that broke every week, we could buy a new one every week with how efficient we can use it. And that's just how it works for us. Everyone's going to be different. We're probably 80% residential where we are. We do a little bit of the residential or the agricultural, and I don't see a whole lot of need to pump dollars into something that, I mean, we're not a massive company. We don't have all these people that need to be paid. And
Which I did want to say too, I don't know what in the heck I was thinking when I put this panel together and got 3 guys from Iowa. We completely ignored that the entire time.
Who else is from Iowa?
2.5. 2.5.
Wheeler's a tweener.
I will move into my Iowa house within 30 days, and then I'll be, so
welcome.
Official.
Now we're competitive.
I don't claim Illinois. I don't claim it.
Wheeler, do you mostly do work in Illinois or do you do it in Iowa? Is it just kind of split?
50-50, just like it's working on that side of the street, and that side of the street, as a crow flies, the river is literally right there. So it's
So if you move to Iowa, do you get to come to the Midwest chapter, or is it based off of your company?
And it's probably the company. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, you can claim any chapter. You can go to any chapter's meetings. Yeah.
Well, I know that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been to more Indy, Kentucky meetings and events than I have on my own. So
you hear that, Nary? Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Nary's never even been to a chapter meeting, I don't think.
I have too. I've been to my first one this year.
Ben Stack or what?
No, it was down in Kansas City at Stevens Pike.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I was there. There's pictures.
There's pictures. Gosh. Clint, you have any questions? I feel like you'll come up with a good question.
So when I think about the resi world, because we are getting into doing more of the resi world, you know, we're in southwestern PA, we're 45 miles south of Pittsburgh, and there's getting to be fewer farmers. So the ag market is drying up a little bit. So we're getting into more of that resi. One of the downfalls when I can't get my rubber trackie in the backyard, or if there's been a few, I can't even get a mini skid steer in the backyard. We're getting up on ladders and using those gas drivers, and we're not in flat Iowa. We're in southwestern PA. Everything's like this and hills and everything like that. How do you resi guys handle those elevation change when it's not easy to get up on the ladder and drive a 10 or an 11-foot post?
Extension handles. That's the only thing. But that's not cut and dry either, because, you know, depending on length of post, extension handle length, you still might need a 4-foot ladder. It's a whole, that's why I was saying, like, that's just a whole beast in its own. Like, it's job by job, and especially if you're doing a lot of different types of material, and some drivers work better. The US Hammer, the extension handles are easy. It's a piece of round pipe. That's what we love about that. But there's downsides to it though too. So
we had one job a couple summers ago where we couldn't get it in, and it was gas driver we were using, and it was super rocky. The gas driver just wouldn't do it. We were taking hammer drills, and I bought an extension for the hammer drill, and we were literally like sort of core drilling the earth in order to make enough of a hole to drive that Postmaster in. But it was somebody up on a ladder, because it was a 11 or 12-foot Postmaster we were driving. And it's that's why I like when we can get my billet in the backyard, because you're not worrying about any of that stuff. You hydraulically lift it up, it's touched it down. You're not risking somebody falling off a ladder.
Yeah, we've done it so much, but now we've gotten away from ladders and with extension handles, stuff like that. But now we have that mega coming, so it's throwing us a curve, because extension handles aren't easy like the US hammers, but we'll figure it out.
We just make sure we're current on our workman's comp whenever we go to do that stuff. So make sure no one's around, We did have a question here. Pound Postmasters are 2 3/8 for wood fence.
I don't do wood.
I'm out. I don't do wood.
Yep.
I'm a 2 3/8 guy.
Yeah, you did one today, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I actually like the Gregory C post for that. So we'll drive a Gregory C post. So it's a very square post. And then we'll put pieces of a ripped down 2x6 on either side. And then that's your nailer. And I like the strength that the 4 corners of the Gregory C post gives you. They do make a bracket that you can slide in and lock if you want to do traditional vertical pickets. But I like the C post over the 2 3/8.
Which probably slice in the ground a little easier too, Clint, I'd imagine.
So we do a lot of playing around and testing with our drivers. When you drive the C post, because it's like that channel, the channel kind of does this as you drive. So it acts as a really good anchor, to the point that after you drive the same one several times, it'll almost be flared out and be very difficult for us to pull it back out, to the point a mini skid steer might not pull that post back out.
Yeah, that's serious. Owen says we never use ladders or 2 people on a driver unless it's very heavy pipe and stable ground. Now we use extension handles and weights on cables to attach to the driver. Did we lose Joe again?
I think so.
Rookie.
Yeah. Wheeler, what else you got? And anybody in the chat, you got any questions too?
Put it on us. Yeah, look at your notes.
You had a bunch of notes.
That's why I'm glancing down here, Nary.
I did too.
That's I don't know. I think probably what I've said will probably get under the skin of certain people that like the standalone machines. I'm not sold on it yet. I'm an open book to be sold on it, but I'm not. I think I'm a mini guy. I through and through. I have been my whole life. So this is just my opinion. I would always push someone towards a mini with an attachment, whether it's, and I know Clint's on here and I say the billet, I have a billet, blah, blah, blah. But there's other ones. The Luke has one. I think Mitchell has one. There's different. That's just more universal. If you're looking for bang for the buck, that's, in my opinion, that's just the route to go. And I don't know what other people will say. I know this Fence Rex thing is kind of sort of taken off. I don't know I don't know. Nary says no.
No, I was saying no to the question. But no, I agree. I think in the residential world, the attachment route's going to be your most efficient and reliable. Whether it's, and I don't like the drivers that you got to lift the arms up and put the arms down to drive the post. It's got to be in hydraulic.
I've never done any.
Whether it's the billet or the mini Rex or whatever it is. Luke makes that ProTech unit I've been around it and driven many posts with it, and it's a good solid unit, I think. And for the price point, you're not looking at much. I don't think $50,000 is a lot for a driver with a MT or whatever brand you choose, because that unit can do so much more things than just a standalone unit. And I've got a standalone unit, and it works good for it depends on the size of your crew too. Do you have 4 guys that you're taking to a job site, or is it just you, or are you and another guy? If you can have a 1 guy operated unit where you can drive post and the guy behind you is railing and running fabric and doing other things. One guy, it's got to be a one guy unit. You've got to drive post with one guy.
So I have a question about this Ready. Is it called a Ready Multi Mega or Ready Mega Multi?
Yeah,
Do we
something
know?
like that? No.
Okay, so
Yeah,
here's my question. I've never seen one. I know the King Boys had one at the fence games. I remember seeing that. But when we did this poll, it had almost 100 votes. This thing had 24% of the votes on using it. So I assume, obviously, it's a Resi thing, right? But have any of you guys used it?
I've had it ready for, well, shoot, I've had it ready for 7 years, and it just now got to a point where it needs replaced. I think they make a good unit, but I also don't build as much chain link as Dan Wheeler does.
Yeah.
It's not.
That mega unit is newer, and I've used the Reddies, but that new one, it'll drive a 3-inch post with no chuck adapter or nothing. And I've seen it. I think Ben at Shed and Fence in Minneapolis has several videos. He was one of the first, I feel like, that had it. I seen it. They were on a ladder, and it was a huge 3-inch post, and it drove that sucker down. So the chuck is like, I don't even know how, it's kind of oblonged. It's kind of like an egg, but squared off. But I'm going to be able to put everything we drive through that chuck. And I'm going to change it out. If it mushrooms, the pounder still comes off. That's another thing that people don't talk about, mushrooming. That's why we like the US Hammer. Again, it has its pros and cons. A pro is the chuck comes off real quick and easy. Cut it off, move on to the next post quick. We know it's going to happen, but we still drive post quick. That mega one, supposedly, I should have no issues with it. I think it is a little bit bigger in size from what I've seen and stuff.
So how do you drive smaller diameter posts with that? Is it sleeves like the old Reddies?
No, this is a completely different, dude. I think I don't know what the drive head is that's inside the chuck.
Yeah,
but dude, the chuck is like that. It's huge.
But can you drive inch and 7/8 with it?
Yeah, everything from a Postmaster to a 3-inch to 1 and 5 to 2 and 3.
So is there a post cap for it for like 1 and 5? So how do you prevent it from wobbling?
It's going to wobble.
They send you sleeves.
Well, I see our US Hammers will keep a 2.5-inch chuck on, but drive 1 and 5. It's going to be floppy. You just hold it straight up and down.
The US Hammer has the post cap on it, right?
No.
Oh, I've got the post cap on mine.
I think you're supposed to use it. We don't use it. Never had a problem.
Oh, okay. Good to know. There's some drivers that you're not supposed to drive without a post cap on.
I know. I called Max because he uses them. He runs 8 a day of the Megas, 8. So he's like, dude, it's a way to go. And everyone's been talking. Well, I seen Owen running them there.
Like 8 dude, with 8 different crews, or with one crew and 7 of them break.
I think it's like, I think it was like 5 crews plus they rent 3 out a day, so 8 go out the door a day.
Sweet. I'm gonna have to get me one.
We're also a Rhino dealer at Log Cabin, and our HBD 60, the hydraulic, it does come with the collars. You can choke it down. It's a pretty simple change. We never choke it down. We have like a 3-inch in there. We're driving 2-inch, 2.5-inch C post. There's a little bit more movement in it, but because of the way it's tied into the billet, it doesn't really matter, and it still sends it with minimal mushrooming.
I'm still trying to figure out what Dan said when he said it's shaped like an egg, but more square.
Think of an egg, but now.
So is it a square? Or is it an egg?
It's like a stop.
What eggs are you buying? Are you buying ostrich eggs? Eggs are like this, my man.
He's got them Illinois eggs.
God dang.
You gotta go on the other side of the river.
It's like a stop sign squished down because it'll do a Postmaster in there in all of them. So you see what I'm saying? But then it'll also do a 3-inch, 2.5-inch, and 5, or 1 and 7. It does it all. Man, that's what sold.
I feel like that has so much bouncing around.
It's a mega multi.
It will, but that's the thing is, our US Hammers do. You're putting an 1 and 5 and a 2.5-inch chuck. You get used to it. We do
It
it
looks
just
like an
flawlessly.
oblong hexagon.
Yes, whatever that he just said.
But
Can you show us on the screen or? Yeah. Well,
what are we doing here?
he doesn't know.
You invited us, dumbass.
It's
It's a
shaped
shape
like
of.
Saturn from the side.
I thought it was more like Uranus, Craig, but Saturn will
Yeah.
work.
Did you see this one, Wheeler?
Thanks, Evan.
Oh my.
So I feel like we haven't even came to what we would think is still a top 3. Has anybody changed anybody's opinion on anything?
Oh, come on, Dan.
No. What are you going to change my again? When Sloop chimes in and tells me that I can spend $100,000 on this driver and it'll do everything, then I'll do it. But I'm still waiting for him to chime in. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. So people hate on the U.S. hammers. I've used them for many years now. Yeah, they go down. That's why we have 3 and blah blah blah. Like, I really don't want to hear it. Like, I don't know. We do a lot of residential chain link, dude. We'll pound. There's days we pound 5 residential jobs a day. A crew will just only pound posts, and that's what they'll do. And so I don't know. That's just my opinion. You got to know they're going to break down. I've known that. That's when I got that Rhino. I'm like, in 2014, I knew that was going to break. I said, there's no way this thing is going to pound posts in the ground every day and not break. And it eventually broke, and we kind of moved on. It was just too much hassle to deal with it.
So, Nary, are you using any of your ag drivers for resi?
No. Say it. Say it.
Clint?
I no, but actually, you know what? Would a baseball field be classified as resi if it's 4
Nope,
foot?
that's commercial.
No, yeah, that's commercial.
Okay. No, but I would if I needed to. If all 3, if my Patriot, my Ready, and my Hammer all went down, and I knew I couldn't get a driver in time, I would take out the log cabin or the Evo into a backyard and drive post. But that would be a real desperate need. Like, I'm on a time crunch and this job has to be done tomorrow and all my drivers are broke.
Would you handle the landscaping, or would you call in a landscaper?
I don't tear up. They're heavy units, but I'm not going to. I've ran these units every day for the last 12 years. I know how to get around. DOT is one of the pickiest people I've dealt with as far as the landscaping of their project. So I know how to get around that stuff. It's not as efficient. You can't just turn on a dime. You've got to know what you're doing. But yes, I could. I've taken my Evo. I've taken my Evo into my backyard for my chicken coop fence. So there's that.
What? How big is it?
No kidding.
My
Jesus,
chicken
what,
coop.
you got an egg farm?
Yeah. He's got the square eggs.
Really massive. Yeah, it's a decent sized chicken coop. Well, chicken run. I've got a 10 by 12 shed for my chicken coop. So
I'm gonna call PETA on you.
they live great.
Ken Lashley knows.
Ken said the best post driver is whatever works for you. He said y'all can argue the subject for a month and still won't have a unanimous decision.
I got a question for Ken here, Craig, if I may. Has
Yeah,
anyone on this panel ever got a invite from Ken with them courtside tickets to the truck and tractor polls he ever goes to?
No.
Me neither. I had him on my podcast and everything, Craig. Not a single invite.
Dang,
Freaking
he
front
stood
row.
you up.
In all fairness, you don't look like somebody that would go.
I'm sorry, Dan. I gotta go on Nary's side here. I would not see you there.
Unless there was a taco truck and Modelo's there.
Look at this comment, Wheeler.
oh man, right in the heart, Ken.
In all fairness, Sloop looks
and he
like
didn't
somebody
show up.
that would go.
You don't want to know even something crazier is I hit up Sloop a couple weeks ago because his boy from Mooresville won a big dirt track race, 100K to win. And he was like, "Dan Wheeler, I don't even know about dirt track. It's in his backyard. His neighbor is probably this dude that is a big." And I don't know. Like I'm like, Sloop, you're not the guy that I think that you are. Like you should know dirt track racing. You look at Sloop and what he does on a daily basis. He knows dirt track racing. He didn't even know the damn guy that won, who's his neighbor. But that's besides the point.
Clint, what are you guys using when you do residential?
So in 2025, our most popular ticket was wood fence post, 5-inch round perfect post from American Timber with black Beckart 2x4 wire. And that was resi applications. Now, we were not doing that in a city proper. It was either suburbia adjacent, it was larger lots, or even housing developments where we took our rubber track mounted Pro Driver. So we have a Pro Driver that's mounted on a Yanmar C30 platform, and that's what we drove it with. And in 2025, the majority of the fences we built was that exact spec, either bracing the corners or doing the whole thing with top rail. So we were in that backyard driving those wood posts and then stretching that 2x4 black Beckart over it. And it's a popular ticket. It's a good-looking fence. It does not look like the ornamental aluminum everybody else has. It's far stronger than any other residential fence material on the market. So when the kids, beat it up or try to climb on it or run into it with the dirt bike, it's not doing anything. It's just going to stand there and be strong. So that was our biggest selling item in 25. It's probably going to be the same way here in 26. And all of that was driven with our rubber track mounted post driver.
We have to also understand that mine and Clint's residential is a lot different than Dan and Owens and all these guys. We can't touch neighboring houses when we reach out. Like our residential is, quarter acres or, maybe an eighth of an acre. Like I sit on a quarter acre. I'm residential. I live in town. So our residential is a lot different than Dan's or Owens or some of these guys, Craig, in the city. Mother Ken's here. We've got to behave. Holy crap. President. Love you, Ken.
Hey. There's a man that doesn't eat hash browns for some reason. I don't know if I can trust a man that don't eat hash browns.
So, hey, since President Trump held the UFC fights in front of his house, does that mean that we can do a post pounder in front of Ken's house?
Do it.
I don't see why not.
All right. Someone drop his address. No, don't.
Well, he lives in what city does he live in, Nary? Fudge. It's a little city. Can't be hard to find him.
Ohio.
Well,
Ohio. Northeast Ohio.
Gosh, Wadsworth.
Yes,
Wadsworth. I knew it was a
Wadsworth,
like
Ohio.
Only Ken would live in a name. Yeah, I live in Wadsworth.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
Let's go smoke some meat over at Wadsworth, guys.
Evan says they don't have to find a corner to pee in. They just piss in the wind. Aaron, Dan's show. Dan, is it a certain time every morning? It's not every morning. It's 3 days a week.
Yeah, they release Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Like tomorrow, we'll release after 12. That's because it's kind of a breaking news podcast for the ag guys. Actually,
what? Breaking news for the ag guys.
Mm-hmm.
For the ag guys?
Ag, AG. Yep.
Oh.
Did you just break news on this podcast for your podcast? It's breaking news tomorrow.
Well, I can't break the actual news, but it's going to be a breaking news podcast.
Uh-oh.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Wadsworth, Ohio. Yeah. Oh, Kenny T.
Kenny G.
I thought you were going to say Kenny G.
Well, I call him. That's where I get the Kenny T from. But yeah.
Okay. Hey, I did side note too. I did want to see if you two were going to be out in Arlington this year. I know Clint will be there.
What's the date, Clint? Do you have that set?
It is. It's late October. Can look the date up. It's something in the 20s. It's a Thursday, Friday.
I thought you were talking about FIS. You're talking about the NAFTA project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the meeting will be Thursday the 22nd, and the service project will be Friday the 23rd of October.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's manageable.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, that will be AFAU, correct?
Yes, FIS.
Yeah.
And wherever it is, Grapevine or Dallas or Arlington, one of the three.
Yeah.
Grapevine.
Yeah. Well, what else? Wheeler, did we go through your notes as well? Because I'll be honest, my questions I had here, you guys just randomly started talking about all of it pretty much. So
Told you there would be no organization.
yeah.
So here's one other thing that I wanted to touch on, because in my world, we do a lot of industrial, not commercial, industrial. Industrial is a very different world, like safety talks, whatever, tailgate talk before you start, hot permits, all the permit things before you even start working. And it's not uncommon to show up at a job at 7:30, not even start working until 9. Some of these pounders aren't going to be allowed on some of these sites. I'm just telling you that right now. They're going to not allow a guy on a gas driver on a ladder pounding post. It's just not going to happen. Like, it's not. But that's why there's certain drivers who will work for that. And goes to my thing where a gas driver probably won't. But that's really niche, though. Really, really niche. But I just wanted to mention that, too. So it goes back to the one driver doesn't check every single box.
Are you calling industrial? Is that commercial, but just with safety meetings?
No, this is like plants, factories, industrial,
Like inside,
outside, you got cranes lifting stuff. It's like a ant farm. There's people everywhere. There's electricians, pipe fitters, crane. There's people hanging steel. They might be driving pylons. I've been next to them where they're driving pylons. You're boom, boom. You might be working in a rail yard. You might have a safety person literally watching you work all day long. There's certain things in the post driving world it's not going to fly in those worlds. Period. Sorry, just had to say that.
get it off your chest.
Well, I don't think a lot of people is in that. You know what I'm saying? In that world, we are, because we got a lot of factories on the Iowa side and Illinois side. That's like a big corn processing plant. We have a 3M plant, and then those plants that feed those plants. If you following me, and they're all high safety, very strict, no nonsense. Like it's just hard hat, safety vests, steel toe, all skin has to be covered other than your face type stuff. So it's a different world, and I just say that to say where some drivers are not going to work in those worlds.
Wonder if you had to use a battery driver there.
Well, it's not going to. The ground on these sites typically, dude, are like it's like
you're there a day and a half setting post.
You're not even a day and a half. I don't even think you're gonna get one post in. Like, and then you have to dry post a lot of those. So they just bring in a ton of gravel. They gotta level this area out to make it a parking lot or whatever. They're just gonna bring in 100 tons of gravel because money is not an option or not an issue for them, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Well, boys, what else we got? We're an hour and a half into this bad boy. I figured this would probably be about how far we went into this. Any final thoughts from you guys?
No, other than I'm more than willing to debate anything that I said, whether it's dude. I'm telling you, like I feel like I'm well rounded in a lot of these subjects. And I'm more than willing, if someone wants to come and debate me on your show, whatever, Facebook little thing, the little post or whatever, come at me. I like debate. I like being proven wrong, but I think I also have a little bit of knowledge behind this. So,
Clint,
Nary?
you got anything?
I think Ken Lashley really tied it up in a nice little bow. We could sit here for another hour and a half, and we're not really going to come to a conclusion because it depends on the type of fence you're building. It depends on what part of the country you're in. It depends on if you're an ag guy, if you're a commercial guy, a resi guy. All of those things are going to weigh into this. So for each of us, we have 4 different contractors sitting here talking right now. We're each going to have a different opinion on it, and it's still going to work for each of our businesses. There is really no, and this is somebody that manufactures a driver. There is no one perfect one. For us, our pro drivers work really well in Southwestern PA. A drop weight would not work well in Southwestern PA because we've got too much elevation change. You're not going to get that thing underneath of the trees. But if you're in the flatlands of Iowa, that thing's going to work really well. So there is really not one that's going to answer or solve any problem, especially if we're trying to say just one overall. If we were to try to pare it down by per resi, or what's the best one of the gas ones, what's the best of the pneumatics, what's the best of the hydraulics, then you might be able to get somewhere. But to just say what's the best one, there's really no way to answer it.
Nary, what's the best of each one?
I don't think there's like Ken said, there's not. As long in the ag world, as long as it's self-propelled, one person using it, tracks, and side shift. Those are the 3 things. If you have those 3 things, you can make it work. Whether it's drop weight, breaker style, it doesn't I-beam or beam. It doesn't matter in my opinion, but it's got to have those 3 things. So, and Sloop taught me that. That was Sloop's doing, and Matt taught me the one is none. I remember one of our first conversations. He asked me what drivers I had, and I said I have a log cabin, and he said, "What else?" I said, "Well, that's it." And he just said, "What do you do when it breaks?" And it wasn't 2 weeks later I found a used log cabin and got it out here. So one is none, and side shift, 1 person unit with tracks.
So I guess that settles the debate. There is no perfect driver for anybody. So everyone loves to argue on Facebook, which is great for the person that posts it because now you got all that interaction and stuff and get plenty of views just to go nowhere. So, but
I think it's a good debate.
Yeah, it is. Now, I think the big thing is that what we did do for everyone out there is that we gave you some guys to be able to call and talk to in the different areas that can help you out with whatever one that you need and the perfect, setup for whatever you're trying to do, whether it's commercial, industrial, or resi, ag, it doesn't matter. These guys help you out and get you taken care of. So if you guys don't have anything else, then we'll close out the show.
I'm good.
And sounds good. So we appreciate all of you guys tuning in. This might be the most watched live that we've ever had. So kudos to you guys on Justin Nary's birthday. Shout out to him again. Happy birthday, Justin.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks,
coming
guys.
in 27 years old. Looking
Plus 10.
Yeah, plus 10. Jeez, man. Getting old. But anyways, you guys tune in next week. We're going to be dropping some stuff, probably not as cool as Dan's that's going to get released tomorrow in the ag world, but I will have Kevin Hoey on next week, and he's got some fun stuff to talk about that he's going to be starting. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week, and don't forget, go out there and be a good human.